KXLY4 Make It Count election coverage now, continuing our series of interviews with the candidates for office here in Washington, North Idaho. We are joined tonight by Eastern Washington Congresswoman Cathy McMorris Rodgers, running for a third term in Congress. We appreciate you taking time to be with us today.
Thank you. Great to be here.
We're going to jump right in with the bailout questions.
Yes.
When the bailout legislation came before the House, you voted no both times. Why?
Well, a tough decision. I talked to a number of people from Eastern Washington, bankers, businessmen, before I made that final decision. But it was, I think, for me, I couldn't ask those people who had been living within their means, been financially responsible, to really cover such a big bill for those who had been the risk takers. And there was nothing in this bill that addressed the reasons as to why we find ourselves in this situation. There was no reform of Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. There was no addressing the subprime mortgages, the predatory lending. And I think that Congress really missed its opportunity to address the fundamental reasons.
So more of a quick fix.
Yes.
And you weren't ready for that. Over the past 2 years, you have been in the minority in Congress. Has it become more difficult to do your job with the opposite party in control?
I'd much prefer to be in the majority, yet I have found success in working across the aisle and really do believe that legislation is improved when it's Republicans and Democrats working together. And I've worked on the Farm Bill successfully across the aisle, working with Senator Murray on Fairchild Air Force Base and transportation projects, working with Senator Murray on energy projects, and I have developed some very good working relationships and proven that I can do that, and I think it is in Eastern Washington's best interest.
So what is the number one issue facing us here in Eastern Washington?
Right now, the economy and the uncertainty, I think, is on the forefront of everyone's minds. We're not quite sure where we're headed. And for me, as we approach the economy, I think it means it's important that we continue to keep our tax burden low, regulatory burden low, address health care costs, do more to reduce energy costs, and meet our infrastructure needs. All of that helps build our economy.
Your opponent, Dr. Mays, has said that you follow the Bush administration and that you are part of the problem in Congress. How do you address that?
I mean, there's examples where I have supported the Bush administration. There's a number of examples where I opposed where the Bush administration was taking the country. Bush vetoed the Farm Bill, and I believed it was very important that we have a Farm Bill for agriculture, for the future of farming in Eastern Washington. I opposed the Medicare reductions for our doctors, the reimbursement reductions. I opposed Bush in cutting Perkins loans for our kids that want to go to college, and I got that money restored. So there's many examples where I have differed with the administration.
Okay, so we want to ask you a series of short answer, yes, no questions, and we also asked your opponent the same questions. So just simple yes and no if possible.
Okay.
Will you go so far as to cut funding to bring an end to the war?
I believe that no, because we have to make sure that our troops have the funding necessary in order to be successful.
Is the war on terror a bumper sticker slogan, as some have said?
Absolutely not. It is protecting our country from those that want to destroy us.
Will you commit tonight, right now, to never vote to raise taxes?
I have taken a pledge, actually, a no tax increase pledge, because I believe that we must reduce the size and scope of the federal government and bring back government more locally.
Do you support a universal health care system?
I don't support a government-run health care system, so it really depends on how you define universal. If it's through the government, then no. I think that we need to protect choices between patients and their doctors.
Do you think government should regulate Wall Street more?
I think that yes, in the sense that we need to update our laws and our regulations into the 21st century. The financial markets have become very creative in their approaches, and many of our laws and regulations are outdated and need to be updated.
Should defense spending be reduced?
No. I think that there's many needs within our military right now. I'm trying to get the tankers replaced at Fairchild. Those planes are on average 50 years old. It's like driving a 57 Chevy. You know, we love them, but that's not what we choose to drive, and we need new planes.
Do you think global warming is man-made?
I can see where man has contributed, but I don't think it's solely man-made. I think that there's other factors that are driving global climate change.
Would you vote to legalize gay marriage in all 50 states?
No, I believe that marriage should be defined as between a man and a woman, and I don't support legalizing marriage between gays and lesbians.
Will the district and Congress be worse off if Dr. Mark Mays is elected to Congress?
Well, I believe that I am I'm the best fit for Eastern Washington. My experience is very representative of Eastern Washington. I was born and raised on the farm, first in my family to graduate from college, and I am committed to giving my best in representing Eastern Washington.
All right, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Last night, we interviewed the Congresswoman's opponent, Dr. Mark Mays. You can watch that full interview on KXLY.com under the Make It Count section. Our next series of interviews is with the candidates for Spokane County Commissioner. Commissioner Todd Milkey will join us here Thursday on KXLY for HD News at 6. And his challenger, Dr. Kim Thorburn, will be with us Friday evening. Both interviews will be posted on KXLY.com.